Today I want to talk a little bit about Red, Taylor's version. Taylor Swift, a country, pop, and indie sensation, has been producing music since the early 2000s. She has recorded 9 original albums. However, she did not legally own said albums because of her manager, Scooter Braun. Fast forward through a lot of legal action taken against Scooter, she can finally take control of her music. Taylor owns the masters to her recent albums, Lover, Folklore, and Evermore, but has started re-recording the older albums she did not own, like her debut album, Speak Now, Fearless, 1989, Red, and Reputation. She released Fearless, Taylor's version, in April of 2021, and just recently came out with Red, Taylor's version. Here's why many fans, including myself, are particularly excited about the new album. Red was originally released in October of 2012. Almost a decade later, Red, Taylor's version, features 30 songs, including 9 tracks from The Vault, like Message in a Bottle, Babe, Nothing New, and a fan favorite, All Too Well, the 10 minutes version. I've always said that the world is a different place for the heartbroken. It moves on a different axis at a different speed. Time skips backwards and forwards fleetingly, she said in 2012. Red is Taylor's heartbreak album. It was written following her breakup with actor Jake Gyllenhaal. Full of emotion, reflection, and forgiveness, these feelings are embedded into each song on her Red album, even 9 years later. The reason why All Too Well is such a highlight of the album is because of the strong emphasis on her relationship with Jake. It was written almost like a letter to him, especially the 10-minute version where she asks if he felt the same pain she did. You've heard of artists producing music videos, but this track got a 14-minute short film. The film featured Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien as Taylor Swift and Jake Gyllenhaal. Taylor turned 21 during their relationship, whereas Jake was in his 30s. This difference is represented by Sadie and Dylan's age gap. I think All Too Well, especially the 10-minute version, is a beautiful song. I've listened to it 12 times since it's been released this past week. My favorite of the Vault songs is Nothing New. I felt like this song was written for me, or even written by me in another universe, because every lyric hit very close to home. As I grow older, I realize I'm not that different from other people. More specifically, I'm not that different from other teenage girls. Life right now is emotional. Almost everything sends me spiraling. I'm sensitive and anxious, and I can be a little obnoxious, and sometimes I go silent for no reason at all. I believe songs have different meanings for different people. To me, Nothing New is about being replaced, being forgotten, but I've heard a lot of girls my age feel the same. Women are expected to be all they can be while they're young. Every birthday is bittersweet now when I wonder if I've done enough to be remembered once I'm older. But that's not how it should be. Knowing that Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers feel the same way makes it all a little less stressful. Other honorable mentions are State of Grace, Holy Ground, and Stay, Stay, Stay. These songs were on the original Red album, but I can never get tired of them. Taylor was 22 when she wrote this album. You really don't know much about anything when you're 22, but at the same time, I imagine you know everything. I'm only 17, and that's how I feel. Clueless, yes, but I'm also the wisest I've ever been. I don't know what I'll be doing at 22. I won't be writing an album about my breakup with Jake Gyllenhaal, that's for sure, but I have an idea of what that looks or sounds like after listening to Taylor's interpretation of the experience. Although this was a celebrity relationship and a celebrity breakup, not everything was in the public eye, and not everything needs to be investigated. No one really knows what went on during the relationship or what caused it to end, but all we know is that it hurt Taylor enough for her to produce a 30-track album, complete with music videos and a short film. Although her heartbreak was a private experience, she chose to share parts of it with her audience, and I think it will make a lot of people feel less alone. Ending a relationship is never easy, but especially not when you're young, when every heartbreak is raw. It's intense and it's beyond painful, and as Taylor said herself, the world moves at a different speed. Coping can be hard, but artists like Taylor Swift sharing their experiences, their wisdom, and their hope for better things can make all the difference. Taylor is in a long-term relationship now, and it seems to be going well. She used to perform Red with tears in her eyes, but now she sings it with a smile. Growing up and moving on to better things is all you can and should do sometimes, even if you remember it all too well.